Y'all, so you see the title. We're all about classroom management today. I have created so many videos on classroom management, organization, and all that good jazz because I feel like it's important. I'm going to be honest. Classroom management is your number one priority as a teacher. At the beginning of the year, mid-year, and at the end of the year, you need to make sure your classroom management is number one. If you don't have classroom management down, it's going to be a hot mess to express. I don't care how fabulous of a teacher you are teaching that content, but if the classroom management is not flowing, if it's not vibing, you will be miserable. Okay, so that's why Miss May is here to help you. That's my goal. That's my job. I want to help you. So I want to talk about classroom management because I did create an ebook for people to get started with classroom management. Classroom management is just so important, and there's more to classroom management than just your routines and procedures. There's a lot more to it. So I want to just talk about those key points real quick and then send you on your way. Okay, so let's talk about key point number one in classroom management. You need to make sure you're thinking about your classroom setup and your organization. Now, I used to be that teacher, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. I've been teaching for 20 years, and I used to be that teacher that was so caught up in, oh, I need to go to the teacher store and buy all the cute stuff that I see, and I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put it. No, even though my classrooms turned out fine, cute, and I loved them, I was starting to be like a hoarder. And one thing about me, I cannot stand a lot of stuff. I like order. I like things neat and tidy. Everything needs to have a home. I learned that from my mama. Thank you, mama. So anyway, the key point with your classroom setup is making sure that you are mapping out your classroom. Okay, what's that flow gonna look like? You know, how are you organizing things? And in my book, I do get into more detail with that, but that's a section that's important, that classroom setup and your organization, okay? The second key point I would say is next would be the routines and the procedures that you have in place. You need to think about every single procedure that you want to teach, and there are so many to teach. And remember, there are some procedures that take you 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes max, and there's other procedures where it's going to take you about 10 minutes, okay, a good 10-15 minutes, but that's okay. You also have to remember that when you're teaching your procedures, that you are making sure you are being very thorough and very specific on how you want that procedure to run. You need to model. I'm going to say it again. Model. Y'all, you have to model what you want it to look like and what you want it to sound like. When I'm working with teachers, I always tell them, model to your students. What do you want this procedure to look like? Okay, so what are people going to see? What is it going to sound like? Am I going to hear anything or am I not going to hear anything? So routines and procedures are next. In my book, I give you lots and lots of procedures, and then there's a section where you can fill in your own procedures that you need that I might not have on the list. Another part of classroom management would be transitions. I do not like to use my voice if it's not necessary because I need to save my voice for teaching my mini lesson and teaching in small groups and meeting with kids one-on-one. I want my voice for that, not for, please put your things away. Please sit down. Why are you up? Go do that. Hey, I need you. Yep. No, that's chaos. I want a smooth running situation. And so in my classroom, it's simple. I play music. I play music to get what I need to get done. So if my kids are working, independently or in groups, if they're working at their seat, on the floor, wherever they are, all I have to do is press the next slide. That Google slide is going to play that music that I need. And then I list suggestions of songs that you can use. I can't speak enough, but Tour the States on YouTube is my #1 jam for a transition. That's one song that I love to use. I love music from Jack Hartman. I love music from The Learning Station. I love music from Gracie's Corner. Yeah, so if you can, use music. And I'm so passionate about using music in the classroom because I feel like it brings a cozy, happy atmosphere. I just remember going to school back in the day and even started in my first year, like, okay, flip the lights off. That means be quiet. Yeah, okay. But were we really being quiet? No. My students, are they being quiet? Yeah, maybe for about 10 seconds and then boom, they're back at it. You know, once I flip the light back on. But it's something about music with transition. So I talk about that in the ebook. Another is that goes with classroom management are the proactive and reactive approaches towards behavior. So we want our classrooms to be that proactive atmosphere. So that's where you're just implementing things to keep it a positive environment, just keeping it to a level where kids feel successful. You know, you're trying to have them meet this success. You want them, like I like to say, we're living above the line. That's proactive. You're doing things to help behaviors you don't want occurring, those reactive, those misbehaviors. So then we have the proactive, but then we have the reactive. The reactive is where the kids, something didn't happen. Something has happened. So we have to go at it at a reactive approach. How are we going to help this child with their behavior, whatever situation they might be in? So I talk about that in the book. And then I talk about how to manage behaviors because it can be hard. It can be tough. And I'm a firm believer, y'all. I cannot stress this enough to you. I'm a firm believer in not sending my kids to the principal for nonsense. Okay, there's a difference. I have seen teachers send kids to the principal, not so much now in like the last 10 years, but like when I first started teaching, and then for about 10 years, like I would see kids sending a child to the principal because they threw a pencil. Why am I going to send a child to the principal because they threw a pencil? I can't handle, no. We have to be mindful on when we send our children to the principal. And then we have to be mindful, once we send them to the principal, we can't catch an attitude because the principal's doing it and managing the situation how they want to. Basically, when you send them to the principal, you're giving up, what you would want to do or what you would possibly do. You can't give them to the principal and then try to tell the principal what to do. That's not gonna work. So I'm a firm believer in not sending my children to the principal's office because I don't want to lose that control. I don't want to lose that power. Because I feel like if I'm sending them to the principal and I keep saying that and keep doing that, they're going to lose respect for me. I just feel like kids that go to the principal, it has to be a significant incident. I mean, significant. Hitting somebody, hitting me, or, punching me, or whatever the case may be that is significant. That's when I'm going to write them up and send them to the principal's office. Okay. So I talk about that, but then it goes on to my second book, and it's called Logical Consequences. And it's where I give you 100 behaviors and then a consequence that you could use for that behavior. Not saying that one consequence that I give you as an example is the end all be all. There could be another logical consequence for specific behaviors, but just to give you an idea, because sometimes it's hard when you have a child that's doing a behavior that you don't want. And then sometimes we get to a point where we just get mad and we'll say, go put your head down, or, 10 minutes off your recess or 20 minutes off your recess. It's one thing or I'm taking your whole recess. So you're taking a child's whole recess, but that doesn't fix the behavior that you're not wanting, So for example, some of my teacher friends in the past, like they've had kids that aren't walking in the line in the hallway correctly. They want to talk. They want to, kind of goof off a little bit. Well, guess what? First 10 minutes of their recess, they were walking that blacktop, practicing walking that blacktop. And you know what? That's more effective than go sit down for recess, 5-10 minutes, the whole recess, whatever. It's more effective than that. Okay, so I sit out, whatever. Okay, they'll find a way. They're still enjoying looking at people playing, even though they're not playing. So just be mindful of that. And I wanted to help you with that. So with that said, y'all, I just wanted to get on here and just talk about one. The first one is your Fab Teacher Guide to Classroom Management. And like I said, it talks about organization, setup, your transitions and procedures, your proactive and reactive approaches, and then managing behavior. So, yeah. And then if I just want to be specific, the tabs, let me go on this side. That better. Okay, yeah. The tabs here, those are hyperlinked. So when you click on them, it will take you to that section. And then, of course, the spine will take you back to the cover. So that is that one. And then the second one, logical consequences. That's this one right here, your Fab Guide to Logical Consequences, 100 of them. So this is your guide for that. I just wanted to share that with you. I know I put it out there, and sometimes I put posts out, and then sometimes I'll do a short, and not, everybody doesn't know. So I just wanted to get on here and kind of show that with you. And just remember, classroom management is key. It's key. And please, whatever you do, set your expectations very high. Don't underestimate what a pre-K can do. Don't underestimate what a kindergartner can do. They can do those procedures that you teach. We have to remember, these kids have never been taught by us before. Kindergarten, these kids have never been in school before, some of them. Some of them didn't go to pre-K. So it's our job to teach these children the expectation in our classroom. And I always stress to my kids, this is our room, not Miss May's room. This is our room. And it really leads you to a very successful, truly successful classroom environment. And when it comes to like November and let's say like February and like April, you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad these kids know what they're doing. I'm so glad I taught them. And I don't care, guys, review those procedures as much as possible, especially during the first couple of weeks of school, until you're just like, the kids will probably be like, oh my gosh, are we doing this again? Yep, we sure are. But guess what? Our classroom is thebomb.com. There's a reason why people want to always come in here. I'm just saying, Miss May, I just came in here to give me some happy. When your principal comes in there and says that speaks volumes. But it takes work to get there. So if you're willing to do the work, boo, I got you. All right, guys. So hope everybody's having a great summer. I am so excited, y'all. I put up a post. Or did I do a short? No, I did a short. Y'all, I'm getting me a puppy. He's a Havanese, and he is so freaking cute. So I get him in 2 weeks. And when I do, Miss May is putting up a video. Okay? All right, loves. Don't forget to always pray, because God will always make a way. Love you. Bye.